Hello, Vasudevji. Good afternoon.
Hi Pradeep, good afternoon.
Hope you are doing very well.
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Okay, so
Great.
just to start with, Vasudevji is CIO and MD in Accenture, India. So he is based out of Bangalore. So he has been kind enough to provide us his insights about AI and then cyber security. Welcome again, Vasudevji. So coming to the cybersecurity challenges and all. So, from your perspective, what are the major challenges of AI in cybersecurity in current situation?
Yeah, so maybe let me respond to that slightly differently, Pradeep. Before we get into cybersecurity type side of it, I'll generally comment on the interesting, things that we are all experiencing with the advent of AI and in its different avatar, right? So we started off with predictive AI a couple of years back. Now in the generative AI and fast accelerating into the agentic AI world. Um, and I'm sure we're all experiencing something quite interesting, right? That is happening, which is we typically call unknown unknowns, right, in the journey. Um, Let me tell that with an example, right? So as we have looked up to certain problems to solve, and the business problems to solve using generative AI or the agentic AI, what we felt was data is the backbone of that. And then we all started preparing the data pipe, right? And then harmonizing the data, and then ingesting that so that the AI solutions can render the solutions that we are all aiming for, right? The classic human plus machine sort of a combination. So interestingly, there are several things I'm sure we're all bumped into which we had not anticipated. Examples being there are positive sides of it as well as negative sides of it, and that's where the aspect of security and the cyber security would come into picture. Let me first outline the positive side of the impact, right? Um, and there are things that are getting opened up, what we call as art of possible, right? Things that we may not have imagined. I'm sure as we started using ChatGPT in its earlier you know versions of it, and as many LLM models have come about, what has happened is many things that we had not thought about, how the data, different data sets can come together, and how generative AI is able to summarize it for us. And from there, what are the newer use cases it can throw up, right? New reimagination of how we can approach a particular context. All of that, honestly, we had not even envisaged. We had not even thought that they are possible. Our initial problem set statement or the use case was very limited, and we started off with that, and then it expanded into forcing us to reimagine, right? Think beyond the boundaries. So those are the positive side of the impact of AI in general, right? And like with anything that comes positive, there are other flip side, consequences of it. The negative considerations we all need to be um, sort of concerned about. That's where the cyber security thing comes into picture, right? In terms of your the data sufficiency, right? Many times it's garbage in and garbage out. So therefore, how much the data is sufficient, is it complete and correct, and how secure is the data in that entire pipe? So the aspects of cybersecurity threats that I see are as the data flows in this entire flow workflow, right? From a data source, data warehouses to data harmonization engines to rendering the AI solutions. It has to handshake multiple platforms, multiple applications, some internal, some external, right, to your enterprise. So there's a lot of vulnerability and risk exposure that data is going through. That's where I see uh, the role of the cybersecurity governance, responsible AI, what we call responsible AI, to come into picture. So it's evolving, it's fast evolving, and I know all the players involved in the ecosystem, whether they are hyperscalers, the platform players, the data professionals, the cybersecurity professionals, and the system integrators are all working together collaboratively to solve for this. That's going to be quite interesting and challenging journey ahead of us. But long answer short, I think there are a lot of positives where it is helping us reimagine, the way we have been conventionally thinking and challenge all of that status quo. That's good side of it is what I would say the impact of AI. And on the flip side, like cybersecurity has to be the sort of the guardrail or the gatekeeper of how do we responsibly scale the AI over a period of time, the governance, the aspects of hallucination, the grounding of the data. How do we ensure all of that is done in a very seamless and secure manner? I think those are some of the cybersecurity, opportunities and challenges ahead of us.
Okay, interesting to know that. Okay, so additionally, so how has been this cross-functional impact of AI, specifically from a cybersecurity point of view?
Let me tell that with an example, right? So, for example, when we say cross-functional, let's take a sales function in a corporate, right? So sales team have their set of processes and tools and systems and software that they have been using to plan and execute their sales operations, right? That's a sales. And then we had marketing team, which was planning where the sales team should be focusing on, right? Based on the campaigns that they run, um, right? And based on the various target segmentation of the different markets and customer base that they would have done. So far, these two functions were talking to each other, of course, but it was done through human interactions, right? Both the departments had to talk to each other. Some amount of integration was there between the systems and processes, but largely the decision making was human centered, right? With the advent of AI and a lot of, like I mentioned, the agents being spun up in each of these functions, and as they need to talk to each other, right? Cross functional agent interactions or orchestration, if you will, as we see more and more of that happening, um, again, the aspects about how secure is your AI, how secure is your data transactions within that, and other things, unanticipated things that are happening because now an agent in sales function, is getting some data and some actions, some instructions from let's say marketing agent, right, sitting in another platform, another system. As this happens, like I mentioned earlier, there could be unanticipated, unprecedented, unintentional actions that each of these agents may end up taking that probably we have seen in Hollywood and Bollywood movies. So those will start becoming perhaps visible, right, as we start putting these solutions together. Um, so therefore, we need to be conscious of that particular thing when I talk about cross-functional AI impact. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's an interesting example.